Hello everyone and welcome to the United Stand. Premier League football is back for us. One game a week, but we make the most of it. David Moyes versus Erik Ten Hag, West Ham, the Irons versus the Red Devils. Will the Red Devils hammer out the Irons? Well, I hope so. I have with me my very good friend, Mordz. Mordz, how are you today? You feeling good?
Yeah, no, let's do it. I'm doing well. I mean, Christmas is coming up. I'm hoping United give me a little bit of an early Christmas present, you know. Hopefully we have a good end to the year as well. And yeah, I'm excited for the game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm very much excited. I don't know why, but because Man United are playing one game a week, the excitement is a bit more, if that makes sense.
You feel more excited?
No, because all week you have no football.
Oh, you just got to wait for it.
Yeah, you're just waiting a bit longer, so the excitement is building a bit more. But David Moyes, we're playing them away from home.
Yeah.
Moyes has seemingly done a very good job with West Ham.
Yeah.
I spoke to some West Ham fans recently who were telling me, you know, they're very, very energized and they're very happy with Moyes.
Yeah.
What do you think Moyes is, and do you think Moyes has done a good job with West Ham? He's obviously been a Man United manager before,
yeah.
But do you think West Ham is kind of his level, to say respectfully?
Definitely, I think it's his level. I don't think Moyes has ever, well, obviously except for when he came to United, but other than that, he's never really had to push a team for a top 4, top 3, them kind of positions. He's always kind of had the mentality of, let me just keep my team in that top half of the table, top 8 potentially. And to be fair, he's done a good job. Even he's won West Ham and a European trophy. I mean, Arsene Wenger couldn't say that. There's a lot of managers who can't say they won European trophy. So, I mean, in my opinion, I think he's done a good job. And I think, especially with the players that he's got a decent team. I'll be honest. I think West Ham have got a good attack. I'm sure we'll speak about it later on in the show. But yeah, I think for Moyes' level, I think he's definitely done a good job with West Ham.
Well, West Ham, they haven't lost in the league anyways in terms of their home record in the past few games. But overall, in the last 5 home games, they haven't lost. Manchester United's away record, on the other hand, is actually really poor. We've only beaten Everton away from home. But I tell you what, our away performances have been really, really poor. But beating Everton away from home 3-0, that was massive, because so many people had written us off for that game, saying, you know, we're not gonna win, or Everton away is obviously difficult. We might even be lucky to get a point.
Yeah.
We done them 3-0.
Yeah.
And obviously they're doing a little bounce coming out of relegation zone from the 10 points deduction. But do you think this one game a week now, the biggest question of it all is the turning point for Erik Ten Hag? Because for me, I think the team will definitely do a little bit better because it's less congested games. You're a bit more fresher. So yeah, they will naturally do better. Yeah. But do you think the team is still good enough for it to click, or is he still so reliant on players to come back?
I think he's already mentioned himself that he's definitely reliant on players to come back from injury. He said it multiple times in interviews that, you know, if it wasn't for certain players, for example, even just Varane coming back into the team right now is a big factor for him, because Maguire's gone out. So he would have had to, today we would have been having to play with Evans and potentially Luke Shaw in left back. So I think definitely injuries coming back is a big factor. But in my opinion, you should never be looking to have one game a week. I don't think, especially as a club like Manchester United level, you should never be saying, look, one game a week is good for us. It's not, because especially when you've got players that are younger players that potentially we could have been using Mainu a lot more this season if we had been in different competitions. We could have been trying them out a little bit more.
Hannibal as well,
you know, and even Palestri. Like a lot of these players who potentially could have had more game time if we were in more competition. So I think, like you said, injuries coming, certain players coming back from injuries is definitely a positive. But at the same time, I do wish we were in more competition so then we could actually see more of certain players.
Yeah. I want to ask you guys as well, so many of you are watching, if you have a preferred starting 11, comment down below with a super chat with your starting 11 and it will come up on the screen, and we will bring up your starting 11 on the screen, and me and Mordz will try and rate your starting 11, and we'll also get the chat to rate your starting 11. So if you're confident in your football knowledge and Manchester United knowledge, get your starting 11 in with the super chat and we'll bring it up. But Mordz, let me ask you this, and also let me ask the chat this. Who's the one player in the West Ham side that actually, you know, makes you a bit like on the edge?
I'd say
get involved in the chat and let me know your one player that you're almost like scared of in the West Ham side.
Scared is a strong word. I think
there's 2
players that come to mind. One is James Ward-Prowse. in the midfield. I think he's a great
Okay.
midfielder. I think he's a great midfielder in my opinion. I think he probably should make the England team in my opinion. But the second one is more of an attacking player, and it's Bowen. I mean, Bowen's had a great season this season. I think he's got like 10 goals or something like that, which is great. Definitely better than all of our attackers. But like I said before, I think West Ham have a good attack in general. Paqueta, Kudus. I mean, last game I think they played Fulham. Kudus had 2 goals and Paqueta had 3 assists in one game. So I think they definitely are a threat, and they're at home as well. So they're going to be even more, become a bit livelier at the ground. So if I was to pick one, I would say Bowen. I think Bowen's definitely a threat on West Ham's attack.
Lots of people in the chat is saying Kudus. A lot of
Kudus.
people are saying Kudus, yeah. But then someone also said Crown, big up to Crown for the super chat, not super chat, sorry, for a chat says, Ward-Prowse free kick gives me Onana nightmares.
Oh, I've seen Ward-Prowse score a couple of free kicks against De Gea.
Yeah, solid.
I've seen them go in against United, so that's definitely going to be a problem.
Solid. West Ham, their back line, you know, Kurt Zuma in there. Do you think Rasmus Højlund can kind of get a
I'm hoping.
job out of him?
Zuma's
he's an okay defender. He's not, you know.
I don't think of Zuma and think, oh, like, it's going to be a problem for Højlund. But at the same time, I don't think Kudus. I don't think Zuma is looking at Højlund scared at all, because Højlund hasn't had the greatest season. And I think every defender right now, when they're coming up against Højlund, they don't want to be the one where Højlund gets his first goal. I think they're all thinking, you know what, we can hold him off. Everyone's held him off so far this season. I can be another one that you can hold off Højlund. But I mean, when we were talking earlier about the players to watch for United, at first I put in Højlund because I was thinking, this could be his game. Like, let this be his game. Let this be the game where he finally gets off the score sheet, and then we can see a little bit of run of form. So yeah, I'm hoping it'll be a good battle, and Højlund comes out on top.
Let's do our players to watch actually whilst we're talking about everything. Let's get it out the way. Who's your first player to watch?
My first player to watch was Mainu. I think he has to start. Like, when I say has to start, genuinely, Mainu is our best midfielder. And I think, yes, Bruno, he puts up the numbers and whatnot, and he's our captain. But I think when it just comes to pure just ability and being able to play football, the way our Ten Hag really wants our midfield to play, Mainu he's like he orchestrates it. And I think the games that he's played, when you look at, you know, Everton away, difficult, Goodison Park, St James's Park. He played away against Galatasaray. He played away at Anfield. He played at home to Baton, and every single game that he's played.
Some big one there.
Bro, that's 5
for his age.
Huge games for an 18-year-old, and every single game he's played, he's showing out on top. I've not watched him play and thought he's a bit out of his depth here. Not at one point. So mainly it's shown to me, he's proven that he's genuinely our best midfielder, and I'm
wow.
No, ability-wise, like I said, I'm a fan of Bruno. I'm not going to say Bruno's terrible. That's not what I'm trying to say. I think Bruno still is effective in our team. But I'm talking about pure technical ability. I think pure being able to just bring the ball out from the back, being able to work it around the midfield, start the attacks, interceptions, tackles. That game against Liverpool, he was all over the place, just getting heads.
You know one thing that Hannibal and Kobe have in common is their aggressiveness in tackles. Have you noticed? Bro, they go in on tackles, you know. They don't hold back.
That's a hungry player.
They really go in.
Yeah,
and I was speaking to a friend of mine who's been, me and him have been watching Kobe for a while, you know, since academy days. And even he was saying, like, in the academy days, they've carried this on where both of the players, they're very physical, and it's a common trait. I get a bit fearful, though. I say one is those attributes are great, but you're susceptible to getting more bookings and cards.
Hannibal's had a couple cards this season.
And 2, injuries as well. Players who tackle like that can be susceptible to injuries as well.
Have seen mainly.
And he's young, you know, he's still, like, his body's still very young. But yeah, the tackling, I love stuff like that. Like, I grew up on Paul Scholes and them guys, bro, they didn't give a heck. They just clean you out. And I was really, like, taking back the tackle against Liverpool, because Hannibal does that as well.
So, obviously, I mentioned mainly being our best midfielder, and you were surprised. Who would you say our best midfielder is?
No, I was surprised because it's like a big statement to say out for an 18-year-old. You almost feel it, but you don't say it.
Because what are we scared of? Like,
you just don't want to put the pressure on. But
I mean, like, unless he's watching, fair enough in it, but I don't think he's watching. Like, but who would you genuinely say?
Definitely, I think he'll be watching. He's not watching, bro. Even Ten Hag is watching, because you got to park the bus against Liverpool, and we said park the bus. But yeah, sorry, you were asking.
Now I'm saying who you would
Bruno,
say.
I would say Bruno.
Okay, that's
Because
a fair
he's the
enough argument.
captain,
You can't argue against Bruno.
Yeah, he's the captain and he's physical as well.
Yeah.
He's a workaholic and he's a chance creator, isn't he? But like that pass from Kobe Mino to Garnacho, bro, I didn't know he had stuff like that in his
That's
locker.
what I'm saying.
I knew some of his attributes that I've seen in the academy, but that I didn't know.
That's
like
top.
I didn't know, bro. And if Casemiro can do similar things, he's got a great switch as well, Casemiro.
Yeah.
I am so excited to see Casemiro and Kobe Mino because I have been very much disappointed with Sofyan. I've just been disappointed, bro.
Yeah.
They the fan base and that Amrabat song, that song, and the run against Kylian Mbappe, yeah, it had me.
Yeah, that
concussed.
run. I've seen that run 25 times now.
I posted a
that
video
run.
of the actual game comp, and people were going, right, this is an agenda. I didn't even write anything.
Yeah.
This is an agenda. But you saw. Let me go through some of the super chats. Lots of super chats coming in. So thank you very, very much to everyone. AJ, thank you for becoming a member on the United Stand Club. Slow Sports News, thank you very much for the super chat. Says, you two legends. This is his starting 11. He says, Onana, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Evans, Shaw, Amrabat, McTominay, Bruno, Garnacho, Anthony and Højlund. A very, very
So no Mane.
typical starting 11 of Erik ten Hag, I'd say.
Yeah.
With Bruno, McTominay and Amrabat in there, Shaw and Bissaka, Varane and Evans, Garnacho, Anthony, Højlund. But that would mean Rashford is still sitting out.
Yeah. I mean, no surprise.
Still sitting out.
No surprise. I mean, I think a lot of people are probably going to have that same. I don't think there's a reason for you to swap him out with Garnacho. Unless Garnacho gives us a strong reason to say, look, I'm not ready yet. There's no reason for him to swap him out yet.
Okay. Rory C says, after getting the interview, are we allowed to ask how useless Anthony is? Look, the community, you all can ask what you want to ask. And you know me, I will say what I see. If you think Anthony is useless, we will talk. If Anthony is useless, in the front line. Mordz, a year and a half has gone by.
Yeah.
Money aside, I think the Athletic report, did you read it? That came out?
No, I'm not ready.
Was it yesterday that came out, Athletic report, or the day before yesterday? You have to read this report. Under Ole Gunnar's regime, Manchester United valued Anthony at £25 million.
Wow. So that's about 2 years ago then.
Bro, crazy. And to think we've paid that much. In the report as well, it says, obviously don't take him word for word because I don't remember the report word for word, but it says something along the lines of Ajax, Manchester United were not expected to pay anything above £60 million for Anthony. And they paid 30 million more.
Oh, wow. So so what you're trying to say is when Ollie was manager of United, he was only worth
the
25.
scouting department.
The scouting department.
Yeah,
but that was
and
before
all
he
of
went to
those.
Ajax though.
Sorry?
Was that whilst he was at Ajax or was that just before?
Just before, I think.
Just before.
Or just as he's coming to Ajax. But the scouting network valued him at 25 million.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Anthony hasn't flourished.
No.
He hasn't flourished.
No.
It's a lot of actions of his that are starting to make me think, is he going to work in the Premier League? You can work with the manager, and that's great. That's your manager, that's the team. But let's be honest, when you're in the Premier League, right, you also have to study other wingers and how they're becoming successful.
Yeah.
The greatest Premier League wingers, Mohamed Salah, you have to study these guys. What are they doing that works in this league? Wilfred Zaha, he's been here over a decade. You know, he's gone now. You have to study his footage. Ronaldo, all of these guys, Henry, from back in the day to now. But I don't understand with him, his one-sidedness is just like, I thought at certain moments he's going to use his right foot. It's just zilch.
And the thing is with me is, I've seen him use his right foot a couple of times, and it's not like he can't do it. I've seen him take plays on the line, and I've seen him beat players and put the ball in the box, and we have created opportunities from it. And it's like sometimes he's scared to go down the line. He's scared to try and beat a player, and it's like because he's so comfortable and he's so sure about how good his left foot is. He just thinks, you know what, I'm going to go for that every single time. But my thing with wingers is, I understand systems. I think we all understand that every team has. Not every team, but most teams in the Prem have got systems and the way they play. You look at Liverpool, they've got a system which suits Mohamed Salah a lot. You know, it benefits the way he plays, and it means that his attributes can flourish. Now, when I look at Anthony, I think under Ajax, he obviously played with a certain system. They played a certain style of play, which obviously benefited Anthony a lot because that's how he impressed Ten Hag to bring him back to United. And when I look at the way United have been playing, we obviously haven't been playing to that same system. I don't even really like defending Anthony because I think he's not been the greatest. But I just think maybe if United were to play if Ten Hag was to go back to that same system he played at Ajax, would it suit Anthony a bit more? Would it help him to be able to his attributes that he has? Would it help him to be able to play better? That's my only argument for Anthony. Maybe it's because of the way how we play football. Because none of our wingers have been amazing this season. None of our attacking players have been amazing this season.
My player to watch was Anthony. So if you can get the graphics up, please, that would be great. But one of the things, I'll ask you a question, but before that, I'll tell you something about Anthony. One of the things that's frustrating me is his inability to beat wingers in a stop-start moment.
Yeah.
Because I have seen you do that in Ajax.
Yeah.
You know, whatever fullback it is, you should still be able to do a job on them.
Yeah.
He has odd times, Dan Burn maybe, or Thiago Silva nutmeg. He's had Spurs last season at home. He had odd moments where he looks like, wow, okay, that's his style. His style is almost, he doesn't stop the ball, but it's almost like he rolls it,
Wait.
and then he just pokes it past you somehow. So it's a mixture of directness and a bit of slowing down. He can do it, but he just doesn't do it enough.
Yeah.
And the slowing down of attacks, me and Beth have gone back and forth about this all the time, that he slows down an attack. And I said, well, must be a managerial thing. Because if you see an action over the course of the season, come on, it's surely a managerial thing.
You can't use that as an excuse every time, though.
Like Rashford not tracking back. One game, 2 game, 3 game, 4 game, but 17 and a half games.
You think that's Ten Hag instructing him?
Must be. Oh my God, guys, listen to this. Listen to this story. My nephew, who plays in the academy, without giving too much away, one particular game he gets benched. And I'm asking him, why did you get benched? Obviously, I'm speaking to the family, whatever. I'm speaking to him. Why did you get benched? And I'm being told that the game before, they lost a couple of goals, right? By a couple of goals. And the gaffer blamed one of the goals on him. And he's a forward player.
Yeah.
And I said, well, how? He said, the gaffer asked him not to track back and stay up there. I swear to God, I have no incentive to lie. This is our academy manager telling the player, don't track back. The player's thinking in his head, and he's explaining to me why he did. He said, the fullback and the winger are very pacey players. And over the course of the game, I'm seeing them both go up freely because I'm not tracking back as much. So I took it upon myself to cover some ground and stay a bit back. He said, I'm not that pacey. I'm pacey, but I'm not pacey enough to mark 2 players at the same time.
Yeah.
And I don't have unlimited amount of energy. So I decided to sit back a bit. And they considered a goal from that side. It got pinned in on me, and now I'm benched. But I said to him, well, if the gaffer asks you to stay on the halfway line as a forward, stay. Even if they lose 5-0. Bro, I have no incentive to lie to you.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you're lying. No. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. I just don't understand why he would say that for Rashford, though.
Because he does it every game.
But the way of professional,
whereas Anthony's
the level of football, you rarely see that in football nowadays, though. Like at the top level, you look at
but he's saying, the gaffer's saying that so that I go on the counter, so use my pace going forward rather than running back.
Okay, if that is what Ten Hag is doing, I think that's terrible. I'm not to say that I know anything about managing, but that's terrible managerial decisions.
Sure.
Because what top team has attacking players that don't press and don't track back? Liverpool don't do that. Yep. Arsenal don't do that. City don't do that. Even Spurs don't do that. So what kind of I don't know. To me doesn't make sense. But I guess it could possibly.
One of the things as well with Anthony is a lot of people are saying the excuse that we're having to make is he's a defensive winger.
Defensive winger.
Make him into a wing back. A lot of people are saying.
Anthony.
Yeah. Oh my God! Breaking news, guys. Wait a minute. Let me just confirm this. We have a player that is going to start that I cannot believe. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Willy Kambwala, our academy centre-back, is supposed to be starting today against West Ham. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Initial thoughts?
I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know a lot about the player.
I do.
I've heard about him, but I'm not seeing him play. So
I do. I've watched him.
I'm a bit optimistic. I'm hoping that he plays. But you let me know about him.
Good, strong player. He's a strong lad. French boy. You know, but at this level, I don't know what to say. But he can play both right and left-sided centre back.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's good with both feet. Good in the air, physical.
We're gonna need something from him today, because like I said, we spoke about it before.
But bro, what is going on then? Because that surely means there's an injury in the back line.
From who? Johnny Evans.
Someone clearly.
I mean the about clearly. 10 more minutes until the the team's out.
Let me get some more super chats. Slow Sports News says players to watch today has to be Anthony. Yeah, as I said, Anthony in there. Otto Ebes with his starting 11 says Onana, Bissaka, Varane, Evans, Shaw, Amrabat, Mino, Bruno, Garnacho, Højlund, Anthony. So Amrabat, Bruno, and Mino in there. I've
got a question for you though.
I like that midfield. I expect ETH to start McTominay though, says Ebe.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. In that midfield, who would your midfield three be, like your preferred for this game?
For this game?
Yeah.
Kobe Mino is in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I would pick Amrabat just so it balances out a bit.
And then obviously Bruno. There's no way you're gonna say McTominay right now. There's absolutely no. We had an argument the other day. We need.
We need goals. Who's gonna score? Who's gonna score the goal?
There is absolutely no possible way McTominay is replacing.
But you keep saying
Bruno
this.
Fernandes.
You keep saying this, and the guy keeps playing and scoring. Having good games.
Having good games.
Well, good enough for him to be in the starting 11. Good enough to be our top scorer with 6 goals.
My head's going crazy.
Yeah, it's gone, I know.
McTominay to start over Bruno for goals. You know, Bruno's probably scored most of our goals since he's been in.
What do you want me to say?
What
do you want me to say?
I'm offended. That's crazy.
Breaking news as well. Kobe Mino starts today as well. So 2 academy players straight off the back.
Has to.
Willie Campbell and Kobe Mino. I don't want to say anything bad or negative, saying, why is Willie starting or whatever. You know, clearly there's an injury. Let's have faith in the kid and let's see how he does.
So is it a team out then, or is it? It's just
no, like, it's just certain players.
That,
it's just coming out. Yeah, certain players. It's just coming out. I don't know if Sam is watching. Sam, what else have we got? Let me know. But it's.
But yeah, now for me, McTominay he can't start. To me, he's a 6th choice midfielder. He shouldn't even be around the starting team. In fact, in my opinion, I don't really want to go on McTominay too much, because I know that's Ricky's favourite right there. But in my opinion, McTominay's only lasted this long because other players have had to accommodate for him. You look at McTominay and Fred. The only reason why McTominay and Fred it was even a thing was because McTominay wasn't good enough to play by himself. He needed Fred next to him to be able to cover that space. And that's why Fred got caught out a lot, because he was having to cover for McTominay. And then as soon as Casemiro came in, McTominay got dropped. He started like 10 games last season. So there's absolutely no reason for McTominay to even start this game. Never mind be an attacking player.
Who was your second player to watch?
My second player to watch was Wan-Bissaka.
By default, he's going to play today.
He's going to have to play because Dallow's got a red card. But the reason why is because, like I said, I said this a couple of times now, but I think defensively we're going to need players who can, cover and be able to take on those one-on-ones with players like Kudus, players like Bowen, Paqueta. They're going to be on fire today. Like I said, they're at home. So, and I think Wan-Bissaka defensively is levels, miles above Dalot. So,
wait.
Yeah, miles above.
Wan-Bissaka.
Defensively, he's miles above Dalot. Yeah, he is. That's not a wild statement to me.
No, it's not a wild statement.
It's not a wild statement.
Because, you know,
I know you love Dalot. You got a picture of him on your profile picture. I know.
Like,
but you don't.
Wait. What did you say?
You got a picture of him.
Like, you wouldn't be excited if you had a picture. Who's your favourite player? Bissaka, no?
No.
Who's your favourite player?
What, in the United team right now? I genuinely don't even have a favourite player.
Wow.
I'd say...
Kobe Mino then?
Yeah,
Casemiro?
I genuinely don't know. I'll probably say Rashford, and they're gonna hate me for saying that. But
What?
In general, yeah. Not this season, but in general,
It's
yeah.
because you're clubbing with him, that's why. It's because you're out clubbing with him and he's buying you drinks.
Well, I don't really have a. I would, but definitely, yeah. Back to what I was saying, Wan-Bissaka is 100% miles better defensively than Dalot, and I think we need that this game. So that was my second player to watch.
To hold off Kudus, Bowen, Paqueta, either one, and the crazy thing with those forwards in West Ham is they can play either side. I mean, in the last game that West Ham played, it took one pass from Paqueta to Kudus and boom, he's through on goal. It's unreal. It's almost like the Garnacho pass the Kobe pass to Garnacho, but it was just from the other side. They ripped open the whole team with that one pass. And it's so scary to see Kudus is so comfortable with both feet.
Yeah.
So good with both feet.
Good finisher.
Yeah, good finisher. His build as well, his profile, he's strong, big, agile, fast. What a player, man.
Yeah, and I love him, man. And he's Ghanaian, so I'm looking forward to the AFCON.
Yeah. What a player.
Forward to AFCON.
What a player. Let me see, just a couple more super chats as well. I just want to bring them up quickly. Dominic says, Onana, his starting 11 says, Onana, Regulon. Regulon? That was just off the back, bro. Regulon.
Interesting.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Onana, Regulon, Shaw, Varane, Wan-Bissaka. So he's putting Shaw and Varane as a centre-back partnership. Interesting. He's putting Bissaka and Regulon. So where's Bissaka going to play?
Right back.
Okay. And then Regulon plays left back.
Yeah.
And then Shaw plays left centre-back.
Yeah.
Varane plays right centre-back. It's the way he's written it made me confused.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Kobe Mino, McTominay, Bruno. I don't like this Mino alone in the midfield.
It's because of McTominay. McTominay is the problem. McTominay is the problem in the midfield.
Well, how is he scoring?
Let me speak to you about this scoring thing. First of all, I kept on seeing a lot of things about McTominay able to strike in the academy. I googled it. It's not true. Like he was striking for 2 games in the reserve.
Yeah, it was.
He's striking for 2 games in the reserve. They even asked him in an interview, was you a striker? And he laughed about it. He said, no, I've always been a natural number 8. So that's already fake. Secondly, this whole McTominay's never scored more than 5 goals a season. Where have we got this goal scorer? He's been at United for 7 years. No, obviously, as an academy player, he's been for longer. But as a first-team player, he's been there for 7 years. Never scored more than 5 goals. Never got more than 2 assists. He's not a creative player. He's never been a creative player. He's never been a goal scorer. If people say that Rashford had a purple season last season, this is McTominay's purple season. This is his purple patch of his career. He's never had a goal-scoring season like this ever. So this whole mentality that McTominay is going to become the second striker and he's going to be getting us loads of goals, he could not score another goal again till the end of the season, and it wouldn't be a surprise because he's never done this.
Anthony, Højlund, Garnacho is the rest of the players. I am a bit surprised. Not one person who's commented with their starting 11 has given an opportunity to Facundo Pellistri.
Interesting.
So yeah, breaking news: no Rafa Varane at all in the squad.
In the squad?
Yeah.
What is going on? What? That obviously now makes sense why.
I think I have faith in Willie. I think he'll do good today.
So, like I said, I don't know a lot about him. So, would you say you would play right centre back then over Varane?
Yes.
And then Evans left centre back.
Yeah, I think so. But I thought they were gonna do left centre back Varane and right centre back Evans last game against Liverpool, but it wasn't the case. They swapped over. So don't be surprised if you see the swapping over today as well.
Yeah. So that must be an injury then?
Yeah, it must be something.
Varane.
We will find out. We're working on it already. We will find out. Slow Sports News says Kambuala starts for Manchester United with starstruck emoji. Carlson says that does make sense because when you look at others play, including Sancho, they don't track back, and Ten Hag gets on them. Garnacho tracks back. Interesting,
yeah.
It is true. When Rashford is playing, he doesn't work as hard in terms of the tracking back, but when Garnacho does, he's working hard. Every other winger does. Facundo, Garnacho, Sancho, not as much. It's almost like a false pressing, false tracking back. Yeah. Just there for the sake of it. But yeah, Patrick says Bissaka is an average defender. He only makes slide tackles last minute. Slide tackles because of bad positioning. What do you think? This is a conversation a lot of people bring up.
He's a flashy defender. I've never heard that phrase, man. A flashy defender. To me, a tackle's a tackle. You're getting a tackle. If the tackle's there to be made and he makes it, what's it about? What's being flashy? And I've seen Wan-Bissaka make tackles in the middle of the pitch. He's not just doing it as a last man where like they're about to score. Like, yes, he does have last man tackles, but I've seen Wan-Bissaka get the ball back in the middle of the pitch or even sometimes in their half. So I don't think it's flashy. I think that's a bit of an excuse.
The starting lineup for Manchester United, ladies and gentlemen, we have it now. Get ready to hear the starting 11. Right. So in net we have Tom Heaton. Joking, it's not.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Got you. No, in net it is Andre Onana, Johnny Evans and Kambwala, the centre-back partnership for today. Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw on the fullbacks. Kobe Mino.
I'm happy.
Bruno Fernandes.
Oh, no.
You see?
Oh, no.
You see? And the one, the only, the best striker for Manchester United right now, Scott McTominay. Front line of Alejandro Garnacho, Højlund and Anthony. Now, two questions creep up to my mind straight away. One, you've dropped Rashford, obviously. You've not started him again.
Again, yeah.
But then two, you've started Anthony again.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool wasn't a bad game for Anthony. I mean, he didn't...
Has he had a good enough season for him to be starting games like this?
Over Pelestri, though.
Yeah,
that's the thing, though. Like,
well, if Garnacho's getting chances at that age, Facundo should be getting some chances.
I think Garnacho's definitely performed better in his chances, though, over Pelestri, in my opinion, anyway. I mean, the goal was crazy. We all know what goal I'm talking about. The goal was crazy. But I think in general, I think Garnacho definitely performed better than Pelestri. I think Pelestri's more of an opportune... What's the word?
Opportunistic.
Yeah, like it's more, if he was to play, it's more like, okay, let's see what he can do in this kind of game. Whereas with Garnacho, we know what he can do now and we want to see it, we want to see him do that. That's why I feel like Anthony's starting more over Pelestri.
Do you think Manchester United should sell Facundo Pelestri in the summer?
Sell?
Yeah.
No.
Do you think they should loan him?
Yeah, most loan, but I wouldn't say sell. Or why would we sell him? Who else are we going to have on that? Unless we buy a winger, if we buy a winger,
online, and I always like repost their thing to get more reach and see what people say. A lot of fans say Facundo Pelestri might not be Manchester United level, and I thought to myself, I don't even know where this narrative started from.
I think if you buy, because we still got Diallo,
who
I think he definitely had a good season last season with Sunderland. I think if he was to start coming into the team a bit more, I know he's training now, so if he was to get into the team a bit more and perform, then we would have him, Anthony, Pelestri, and I still think we should buy a right winger. Imagine if we got like Bakayoko or something like that. That's a top winger. So if we were to buy another winger, then there might be space for someone to leave. But if not, then I don't see why we sell him.
We are trying to find out where is Rafael Varane, but that midfield has me fuming, says Mark. Mark is not happy with that midfield. I am not happy as well. Why he wouldn't start Sofian Amrabat is actually, I don't know, it's baffling me. West Ham starting 11 is Ariola, Kufal, Zuma, how do you pronounce his name? Konstantinos, Emerson, Alvarez, Souček, Ward-Prowse, Paqueta, Kudus and Bowen.
Yeah.
That's their starting 11. I mean, Alvarez is in there.
Yeah.
Kudus is in there. Players that Erik Ten Hag know already.
Yeah.
Ward-Prowse having a great season. Bowen's having a great season. A very balanced out team.
Yeah.
Zuma's captaining them as well. So,
okay. Yeah.
So yeah. With ours, I think obviously Bruno's going to be our captain. But here's this now. Kobe Mino's got the job today to do the CDM role alone.
By himself. Genuinely by himself. McTominay's going to go ghost once again in the game.
No. McTominay's going to be asked to go and score a goal. Bruno's going to go.
McTominay.
But no,
we're asking Scott McTominay to... I've never thought in my whole life McTominay would be asked to go. I get it. He's having a goal-scoring season of his career. He's 26 years old, by the way. He's not a 19-year-old 20 player. This is his best goal-scoring season of his career. But to be saying McTominay is playing to go and get us goals is the wildest statement I've ever heard in my life.
Let me bring up my player to watch. My second player to watch was Rasmus Højlund. If we can get the graphic, please, that'd be great. No Premier League goal as of yet in the Premier League, obviously, for Rasmus Højlund.
Yeah.
Bro, big concerns, I'll be honest. It's patience. But with Manchester United, the bubble is going to burst at one point with him.
I saw a stat recently, and it said something like, of all the strikers in the Prem, which players I think had the ball passed to them the most and had the ball passed to them the least?
Yeah.
And Højlund was rock bottom. He was the last of players, strikers, who has had the ball passed to them, and I think just above him was Martial. So I think that says a lot about how United are playing and how we're facilitating. And we've mentioned a lot of times that Højlund obviously plays better when he's getting the ball. He's not the kind of player I don't want to see him to be the kind of player to drop in deep and go and get the ball and create the chance himself. He is more like a target kind of player, put the ball in the box, find him, and he will score. And he has had chances. That's my only thing with Højlund. Even though that stat says he doesn't use the ball, the game against Liverpool, he had a chance. He had probably the best chance in the game.
In the whole game.
Of the whole game to score, and he didn't put it away, which it is a bit frustrating because he might get 1 or 2 in the game, but he's not scoring that 1 or 2. So it just goes to show that maybe he isn't getting a lot of chances, but he needs to be a bit more clinical. If he had that clinical gene in him where it's like, you give him 1 chance, he's scoring, then we're going to see him start to flourish and get a lot of goals.
International with the super chat says, so Mino by himself in midfield, this is on Erik ten Hag's head.
Yeah, it is.
It is, isn't it?
It is.
Gustav, thank you very much for becoming a member of the United Stand. Right, let's get a bit interactive and let's ask everyone. And I don't know what response I want, but I'll think of it. So a midfield of Mino, Bruno, a midfield of Mino, Bruno and McTominay, that's 1.
Yeah.
Or a midfield of Mino, Amrabat and McTominay, number 2. Okay. So number one is what you see on the screen. Producer, could we get our starting lineup on the screen, please, the graphics? So the number 1 is Mino, Bruno and McTominay. That's your number 1 midfield. And number 2 option is Mino, Amrabat and McTominay. 1 or 2? Which one are you going for?
Obviously 1.
Really?
The second one is McTominay, Amrabat and Menu.
Yeah.
No way.
Which one are you guys going for? Comment down below. Midfield 1 or midfield 2?
Why is there not an option without McTominay? No, I'm being serious.
Don't ask questions.
I'm being serious.
Answer the question, don't ask.
No, okay, the first one, because how can Bruno not play? Bruno has to play.
1 or 2?
1. The one with Bruno, the one that we have today, the starting midfield that we have today. But if I was to pick one, I'd pick one without McTominay and put Amrabat in there.
Okay, producer, could we get a poll? A lot of people are asking for poll. I think poll would be better off. Let's do a poll. Let's get the poll done to see. And the third option, producer, please give them, is Bruno, Amrabat and McTominay.
No, that's... Oh, why is there not one with just Bruno, Menu and Amrabat? That should be the one that...
No. This is
okay, fair enough.
Politics is politics. Agenda is agenda.
Okay, go on.
So you have today's midfield, which is Kobe, McTominay, Bruno. That's option 1. Option 2 is Bruno, Amrabat, and McTominay. That's our option 2. And option 3 is Bruno. What was it?
Yeah, you messed up.
Do Bruno, Mino, and Amrabat.
Okay,
yeah. Do option 3.
Is Eriksen on the?
No, Eriksen is not.
Eriksen on the bench. Okay.
No. Someone said Faz agenda.
Just crazy. Agenda's wild.
Politics is politics, and I'm a politician.
Okay.
Michael with the super chat. Thank you very much, Michael. Says, I think Højlund is playing too high. It's why McTominay might be scoring more. If you look at Kane, you can see if he plays a little deeper, he plays a little deeper. Merry Christmas all. Thank you, Michael. Merry Christmas to you too.
Yeah.
He says he plays a little deeper. What do you have to think about that? I mean,
he plays too high.
Against Manchester United, it was him who set up the goal, isn't it?
You talking about Kane?
Harry Kane, yeah.
But Kane's an all-round striker. I think he can do both. I think he could play as that target number 9, like Lukaku used to play.
Sorry. Ben with the super chat says, I'm not voting anything with McTominay in it.
Thank you. No, whoever that is, I like
you guys,
I like I don't understand why this is a wild statement. I feel like Ricky's got into all your heads that McTominay is just...
No, but I'm also watching
I heard someone say that McTominay is a more creative player than... What?
No, that I don't agree with. That I don't agree with. I don't agree with he goes over the top, Ricky. But right, the poll is up. Which midfield would you start? Bruno, Amrabat, McTominay, Bruno, Mino, Amrabat, Bruno, McTominay, Mino. The midfield that he's gone with is the third one. Let's see what the public are voting. I'm going to make my vote.
I can put £1 million that everyone's going to pick the one that I said. I promise you. I think that's just the obvious answer. And I don't like getting onto McTominay too much because I sound like I'm just singling him out. But
wow, it's like a clean sweep, isn't it?
For which one?
Did you vote?
Yeah.
Go on, tell the chat which one is the most.
The best one, I think, which everyone agrees with, is Bruno, Mainu, and Amrabat. And the craziest thing is Amrabat hasn't even been that great this season, but he's been better than McTominay. So I think that's.
You think he's been better than McTominay?
Well, I just think he suits Mainu a bit more. I think him and Mainu, I don't want to leave Mainu by himself. And I think McTominay would definitely ghost in the game, and it will mean that Mainu will get caught out a lot. And it will eventually mean that people are going to start getting onto Mainu because he might be out of position a few times. But I think Amrabat, because he's so active on the pitch, he's all over, he's everywhere. He's like a thread. He's like a fly. He's all over the pitch. So I think him and Mainu would be a better combination than Mainu and McTominay, 100%.
We don't. Rafa Varane is not in the squad today due to illness, so it's not an injury. It's not an injury before you guys start crashing it on him and saying he's always injured. It's an illness. It's an illness, so there must be a bug or something going around. Right, okay. Let's talk a little bit about predictions of what you expect from the game. We obviously played a proper defensive game against Liverpool. They tried and tried and tried, and their possible best chance was probably the long range from Trent. Yeah. Other than that, set pieces and everything, we held it down, and that was great. I loved it. I love when Man United can, defend a set piece.
Sure.
Yeah, because we're bad at that. But today, what are you expecting from the game?
Look,
considering what you just seen in terms of the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, after that Liverpool game, I said to myself, look, I speak to one of my friends, I was like, as good as a result that was, because nobody expected us to get a point out of that game. So, like, as good as a result that was, I don't want to see United play like that again. I don't want to see United park the bus for 90 minutes and just hope that we get a goal from a counter, because that to me says, if we continue to play that kind of football, that to me says that Ten Hag has given up with trying to play football with this team, because that means he's trying to say, look, you guys aren't good enough to take the game to another team. So we're just going to shut up shop and hope that we can maybe get a goal on the counter-attack, something like that. So like I said, it was a good result, but I don't want to see us play that kind of football every game. It got us a result against Liverpool because they're a very attacking team and they're miles better than us, I'll be honest. But a game like West Ham, I do think that we can take it to them a bit more. I feel like we can definitely play a bit more football, hold possession. That Liverpool game, we struggled to string 3-4 passes together. It was terrible. So this game, I'm hoping that we can play better football. We can actually work some goals. It's been a minute since I've seen United work a good goal and think, wow, that was actually a good play. Like, we actually passed the ball around a few times and got it to one of our attacking players and scored a decent goal. So I'm hoping that we can definitely do that this game.
Let me tell you our bench as well. Sofian Amrabat, Altay Bayinde, Reece Bennett.
He's really bringing out the academy.
Christian Eriksen, Hannibal Mejbri, Facundo Pellistri, Marcus Rashford, Sergio Reguilon, and Donny van der Beek. Casemiro's still out. Obviously, Dallow's out. Diallo's still out. Lindelof is out with a knock still. Maguire, that groin injury. Malacia is still out. Martial is ill.
Martial's ill as well.
Martial is still ill. So, in terms of the whole season, this is the second game that Martial is missing due to illness.
Eriksen's on the bench, though.
Yeah. Martinez, obviously, we know that. Mount, we know that. Jaden, we know that. And Varane, we know he is unwell. So,
I want to see Eriksen play.
Bro, like, centre-backs wise, we're done.
Yeah,
we're done.
We're definitely going to go looking in January.
And it tells you that maybe Erik ten Hag should have identified a centre-back in the summer rather than that Mason Mount. It was just an abundance of midfielder. I wouldn't even, this season, I wouldn't have been this upset if we were even starting Donny van der Beek in games. As much as I'm so upset about this crisis in the centre-backs. You've brought a 35-year-old centre-back, and let's be deadly honest, do you think he can maintain a full season in the Premier League?
Yeah,
full season. Let's just be deadly honest. You think he can? I don't think so.
Well, he hasn't, but so wasn't any of our other centre-backs. So Martinez is 25, 26, he hasn't. So.
He's been injured, if I'm not mistaken, he's been injured the same amount of games as Rafael Varane, registered injured.
Who has Martinez?
Evans.
Evans?
Yeah. Varane has been injured for 4 games this season. The rest are illness or just not in the squad.
Yeah.
Evans has been injured for 4 games this season.
Yeah.
That's it. He's not. He's always been on the bench or he's played. So he could have. He knows Varane's like injury or situation with his body. He knows Evans is old. Should have identified a centre-back over
But
anything.
did he not, though? Like,
he identified Mason Mount so hard and so quick. It was his first signing this summer. Only for Mason Mount not to play at all. He's played barely any
injuries
football.
again.
Barely any football.
But I mean, I feel like we did want a centre back. Did we not got Kim and Jae from
we wanted Todibo,
Bayern.
Vardiol.
So it's not like he didn't identify that we needed a centre back. It's just that he didn't get one. And it's easy to look at things like in hindsight. It's easy to say now, we should have got a centre back because of the injuries. He did not expect Martinez to be injured for pretty much the whole season. I expect Maguire now to be injured. Who else? Varane to be out this much. So I think it's easy to say, he should have got a centre back. But if Varane and Martinez had played the whole season, nobody was saying this.
I don't know why. If a lot of people are saying he wanted Kim Min Jae, but how badly did you want him?
But we know now with United, it doesn't matter about how bad you want him.
He had a release clause, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That could have been triggered. Why didn't we why isn't it on the priority list? Something doesn't add up here. If a manager wanted the defender, you're telling me that the same club that spent over 50 million in overpayments or 60 million in overpayments with Anthony, Martinez. We overpaid a little bit for Casemiro. We overpaid for a lot of players that he wanted. Casemiro, no, but either way, we're overpaying for a lot. If he wanted that centre-back so badly, you're telling me the same club that's overpaying for players for him just turned around and said no.
But think about it like this, though. We had Varane and Martinez in centre-back last season, which they were a great pairing.
Varane and Martinez, yeah.
They were a great pairing. There wasn't really much to complain.
And you knew Martinez is out injured.
At the end of but he came back at the end of last season, just before the end of last season, he did come back. So I'm just thinking about it from Ten Hag's point of view. You've got Martinez and Varane, who great pairing. Both of them had decent season last season. You're expecting them to continue that into the season. If you go and buy another top centre back, because Kim Min Jae is not a sub, he's a starter. You're not going to buy him to put him on the bench. So would you rather go for a top centre back, which means you're having to replace probably Varane, put him on the bench potentially, or go for a midfielder where last season Eriksen was injured for a lot last season. Only really Bruno was starting like every single game. Casemiro had a bit of an injury last season as well. So he's probably thinking, look, I probably need another midfielder in there anyway because McTominay's not a top midfielder. Who else did we have midfield last season? Who else was the starting midfield last season?
Eriksen.
Injured a lot.
No, but he played quite a few games.
No, he played at the start. He got injured. He got injured a lot, a large part of last season. So he's probably thinking.
Casemiro, him and Bruno really.
So he's probably thinking, no, I probably need a starting midfielder.
Fred played a good few games.
Yeah, but obviously Fred left. So he's probably thinking, you know what? If I'm thinking about priorities, if I'm going to prioritize a midfielder I want to start every game, I'm probably going to say a midfielder, over a centre back who potentially would end up going to the bench.
Let me see. Mogale with the super chat says, this midfield without Amrabat is going to get ripped apart. I'm Ten Hag in, but this lineup is quite disappointing. Not playing Sofian Amrabat is going to be on him. It's these little decisions that he makes.
Yeah.
It almost like creeps under the rug and you just look past it. But it's been happening all season. He's been doing this with Bissaka as well. Remember, Bissaka's been available for certain games. He's not played them. Reguilon's been available for certain games, but he decided to play Dalot as a left-back. It's been loads of games.
I'm just hoping that, because one criticism that people have had of Ten Hag, me especially as well, is in-game management. And I'm hoping, because a lot of times he's made wrong decisions, and we as fans, we've watched the game and we're seeing that certain things are not working, and we're thinking to ourselves, why is he not making a change? Why is he not at least changing potentially a formation, potentially bringing on a certain substitute, and he's not been doing it. So I'm hoping that today, if he sees that in the midfield there is a problem, there is a lot of space in the midfield, or maybe he might be getting caught out a lot because McTominay's out of position or whatnot, I'm hoping he realises it and he makes that kind of change, potentially brings on an Eriksen, potentially brings on a Amrabat, and he switches things up. He doesn't wait until the 80th minute and then now he wants to try and make changes.
It's nice to know that Christian Eriksen is back in our matchday squad and he is available on the bench. I think he just needs a bit of match fitness before he starts playing again, but that's a positive.
Yeah.
I think in terms of the bench, it's just him, Sofian Amrabat, Rashford and Pellistri that can maybe do a little bit. Van der Beek has not been involved. I don't think Hannibal is going to be involved.
Yeah.
Obviously, Rees-Ben is not going to be involved, and buying there. It's just the keeper.
Yeah.
Nicholas with a chat. Thank you for staying a member for 36 months on the United stand. Really appreciate your loyalty. Says, would have started Amrabat, but understand his logic. I don't. So please, Nicholas, if you're watching and listening, will you send in another chat and tell us why do you understand his logic? Because I don't.
The reality is he's probably going to take off Mainoo.
Do you understand his logic?
I don't understand his logic, but I feel like he's going to end up taking off Mainoo for Amrabat. That's the kind of thing that Ten Hag would do.
And he's been playing Amrabat, McTominay and Bruno this season. He's played this Amrabat, McTominay and Bruno.
He has played that before.
So why is he all of a sudden gone and put Mainoo in?
Mainoo's played better than both of them.
But he's put in one midfielder, taken out one, only to unbalance the midfield out fully.
I think the midfield, I've said this 100 times today, I think the midfield is unbalanced because of McTominay. I think Mainoo and Amrabat and Bruno is a more balanced midfield. And I think that works better. I just think that,
sure.
I don't think you should leave Mainoo by himself. Not just yet. Maybe in the future.
Shouldn't leave any DM by himself.
Yeah, facts. But I mean, the top teams have a strong enough DM. Rice is strong enough DM, he can play by himself. Rodgers is strong enough DM, he can play by himself. Liverpool are the only team that have a strong enough DM that can play by himself. So I wouldn't put that pressure on Mainoo yet. I think maybe in the future when he's a bit older and he's a bit stronger and he's a bit, he's growing a bit into his body, then yes, he can probably play as a six by himself, but not right now. He definitely needs somebody next to him that can at least cover a bit more ground and potentially get some tackles and a bit more defensive work, and let Mainoo use his technical attributes, his football playing attributes, to his peaks.
Another super chat here. Anil says Mejbri should be playing instead of either McTominay or Bruno.
Sorry, say that again.
He says Hannibal Mejbri should be playing instead of McTominay or Bruno Fernandes. Mejbri and Mainoo will bring others into play. Bruno only tries final pass.
Yeah, I've heard that. I think I've heard people say that before. I've said that myself. That Bruno, he does look for the assist every time. He always looks for the assist, and sometimes the simple pass actually helps a lot, because a simple pass means that you could drag players out of position. This is a very analysis talk, but if for example, you have wingers who are very wide, it stretches the pitch and it leaves space in between the fullbacks and the centre-back, which means other players can run in between. So if Bruno's got the ball in midfield and he passes it out to wingers and whatnot, it means that other players can run in between, potentially McTominay, potentially a Mainoo or a striker, whoever the wingers are. They can run in between, and it means that we're cutting in, we're creating chances. That's what City do every game. That's what Arsenal do every game. That's what Liverpool do every game. But United don't do that a lot, because Bruno, when he gets a ball, he's just looking to go for the assist. He's looking for the ball over the top, or he's looking for the free ball in behind.
Sometimes you just have to keep the ball ticking in the midfield.
Spread the ball, make the pitch wide, create them gaps in between the defence, and then we can start to work the ball better and play better football.
Dominic with the super chat says, could be 3-4 goals to West Ham. Centre-backs could get exposed. Billy with the super chat says, we're back to Captain Creative, running around aimlessly, whining about calls and giving the ball away, all while leading our team to 1 goal per game. Really summing it up there.
Yeah.
Harsh truth. Danny says, thoughts on Kambwala lad, any potential? He's a good player, joined Manchester United I think a couple of years ago, 2 years ago I think he joined Manchester United, French lad, connections with Anthony Martial, French connection, but we'll see today. Whatever you see in the academy is totally different to playing first team football. Totally different. So you'll really see what he's about today. And
I'm really hoping that he has a good game.
He started. That is crazy. That is crazy.
That is crazy.
That is actually crazy. At 19 years old, 0 first team football previously.
Yeah.
He's obviously been training with the first team for a while. So have all the other academy players. But listen, I don't even want to say if Erik believes in him, because Erik doesn't even believe in himself with the midfield that he picks. I mean, let's be deadly honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's what it is.
But all I'll say is, what else was he gonna do?
Yeah.
Really and truly, let's be honest with yourselves. What else was Erik ten Hag going to do? Looking at our squad today, who else could we have put in there? He couldn't. Listen, Luke Shaw's out as well.
But I will say, if I'm West Ham, I'm rubbing my hands right now.
No, sorry, not Luke Shaw's out. Luke Shaw's playing
Luke Shaw,
left back. But the one conversation people could have had is play Sergio Reguilon left back and play Luke Shaw left centre back.
Yeah.
Why didn't he do that?
Yeah. I think he's... Because I spoke to a couple of United fans about this as well. A lot of United fans would rather Luke Shaw play left back in his natural position, because that's where he plays the best. Let's be honest, he plays the best at left back. So when we're playing him left centre back, it does kind of take a bit away from his game, because He can't go forward as much. He's got a bit more defensive responsibilities. So it means that it does hinder him a little bit. So maybe Ten Hag's thinking with that, has got that in mind. Let me keep Luke Shaw in his natural position. And then, you know, figure out a way to get two centre-backs in. But like I said, I think West Ham are probably rubbing their hands right now thinking, you know what, yeah, we can really go at this defence. They've got a 35-year-old Johnny Evans and a 19-year-old
never played
Premier League football before. That is, Kudus is hungry right now. He's smelling blood right now. So it's going to be interesting to see. Definitely want to see how well it goes.
Two clear-cut mistakes is one, not playing Sergio Reguilon and playing Luke Shaw, because that is clearly a much more experienced backline, you know, just in general. Throwing the 19-year-old in there. And then number two is the midfield. As much as I can, you know, have my agenda in terms of that, but I think the midfield would have been more balanced for this game with Bruno, Amrabat and Maino. Yeah, it would have been. Yeah. Obviously, Bruno's going to play every game anyway, so two bad mistakes already. Yeah,
I mean, like I said, you say that now, and then we win this game, and you're looking back and you're thinking, wow, that was a tactical masterclass from Ten Hag. But it's all going to come back to hindsight. We're going to look back at this game. That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping that this young, I don't even know his
Willy Kambuala.
Willy Kambuala. I'm hoping that he has a really good name. I'm going to have to go and do my research after this, do a little scouting report and find a lot about him. But I'm really hoping that he does have a good game.
Yeah, I saw him play a few times last season and a couple of times this season as well. Obviously, he's taken over from Tedden, who's left the club. Yeah. But he's similar profile. You know, just strong, great with both feet, good with his passing, very physical. But like I say, all of the analysis that you make in academy football is totally apart from first team. You're gonna get half the time that you get on the ball. Yeah. It's gonna be twice as intensive.
And the thing with Premier League football, the difference between that and, for example, like the Championship is you make a mistake, the scoring. That's one thing about Premier League is that a lot of Championship players say that when they come to the Premier League is the game's not as fast as the Championship. The Championship's a lot more back and forth, and especially academy football as well. It's a lot more back and forth. But in the Premier League, it's a lot slower. But if you make a mistake, be ready to get punished because the players are just way more clinical. They don't usually miss the chances, and that's something that maybe he's probably going to learn today about, you know, playing top flight football.
Let's try and get score predictions in. I don't know, after looking at that lineup, score predictions. Everybody in the chat, get your score predictions in. Let's see. Manchester United are currently sitting at 28 points and West Ham are sitting at 27 points.
So they could go both of us?
Yes, today. Our goal difference is -3. Their goal difference is -1.
So they're not having the Preds having the exact same season.
Every other team above us has a double-digit goal difference in positive. It's really bad. It's actually really bad.
I don't think we scored in our last 3 games.
It's really bad. No, we haven't. In all competitions, we haven't.
And West Ham at home, they've just won 3-0 against a Fulham team. Against a Fulham team that just come off a 2-5-0
if we lose today, we end up 10th.
Where are Chelsea?
Chelsea are... no, actually, we end up 9th. Chelsea are 10th.
Yeah.
We end up 9th.
I mean, I'm always optimistic about United, so I'm always going to go for a win. I'm never going to say United are going to lose. I'm always going to go for a win. Score predictions. I'm going to have to go for a... I'm going to go for a... Wow, this is difficult. I'm going to go for a 2-1. A 2-1.
Oh, he's done it again. Mark Goldbridge, the Pratt, has messed up our graphics again. He's put West Ham and United watch along all over my face. It seemingly happens every build up now. But yeah, bless him. A lot of people are saying 4-0 West Ham, 4-0.
No. No.
2-0 West Ham, 2-0, 3-0 West Ham, 3-0 Hammers. I don't know.
Probably a lot of West Ham fans in there saying that, to be honest.
You reckon?
Yeah. There's no way United fan have picked him 4-0 from West Ham. But we've had the exact same season. Why would they win 4-0?
Brian, I don't know. I think we're gonna lose 2-1.
I'm saying 2-1 win. I'm saying shaky game though. Shaky game back and forth, 2-1.
That midfield does not fill me with joy. And knowing West Ham, how great they are, you know, with Alvarez and Souček and Paqueta in there, Ward-Prowse in there, mate, long day.
Yeah.
Long. No Scott McTominay in the midfield. Listen, he's not going to win the ball and carry it a bit or pass it around, move the ball around. No Bruno Fernandes. He's just going to be somewhere free roaming. But yeah, listen, thank you so very much for everyone watching. Really, really appreciate you. Again, why is the graphics on me? Thank you so very much. Head over to Mark's stream now. Mark is live. But as you head over to Mark's stream, raid his chat with... I don't know.
To you, really. I don't know.
Yet again, I find myself saying this season, praying emoji. Put the praying emoji because that midfield, we can only pray and hope that they come up with 3 points. And if they don't come up with 3 points, big conversations on the forum. But yeah, catch you all on the forum later on. You're going to be taken over to Mark's stream. Thank you all. Take care and prayers emoji. See you all later.